they'll act crazy when her husband and her shoot someone. By the way, this will be so entertaining, but there's no way this does not end in some type of like Ruby Ridge standoff. And the Republican Party will just be like, we believe in democracy. But I mean, her and her husband are just fun. They're just fun people. And they're what they claim to be, right? They're just kind of it's from the Christian meth contingent of that state, Colorado, and people that are like, I believe in the Lord, but also meth and violence against others. And it's what Jesus would want. Jesus would be Lauren Boebert. Let's see what Jesus would do. Let's get up Lauren Boebert's rap sheet and let's see what kind of activities Jesus would do if he was living in Colorado tending bar, which is where I imagine Jesus would come back. If Jesus came back, he'd be like, LA and New York are for fags. And he'd go to Colorado, not Denver, okay, you tranny. He'd go to outside of Colorado and tend bar like she did for years. But there's a rap sheet for Lauren Boebert. Here we go. Lauren Boebert and her husband racked up arrests in home district. Okay? The 34-year-old lawmaker who beat her district's very conservative, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, again, Lauren Boebert is one of my favorite people, and she is definitely responsible for some mayhem in her home state, okay? Boebert in 2015 was cuffed for disorderly conduct at a country music festival. That's something Jesus would do. After police said she attempted to interfere in the arrest of minors busted for underage drinking. That's what Jesus would do. Now, she's concerned about minors all the time, that they're getting corrupted, right? So minors were being busted for underage drinking. And Lauren Boebert's attitude was like, hey, we're having fun. It's a festival, faggot. Leave them alone. Let them get fucked up. And then she was cuffed. Boebert said the revelers had not been read their Miranda rights and that the arrest was illegal. So she's out there helping drunk children continue to get drunk. We like that. Lauren continued yelling and causing the underage drinkers to become unruly. That's when she realized she had a future in politics. When she was at the country music festival and she's yelling at these child drunks and they're going, then she's right. I did that. She went, I can win and I can be in Congress now. Lauren said multiple times that she had friends at Fox News and that the illegal arrest would be national news. At the time, Boebert was running Shooter's Grill in Rifle, Colorado. Cannot make that up. Is that really the name of it? Well, the story was... Oh, jeez. A year later, in 2016, Boebert was charged with careless driving and operating an unsafe vehicle after rolling her truck into a ditch. Again, the Lord would do this. When she failed to show up to court a month later, a warrant was issued for her arrest. She was booked on February 13, 2017. She ultimately pleaded guilty to the unsafe vehicle charge and paid $123.50 in fines and costs. The careless driving charge was dismissed. So this is what Lauren Boebert's up to. Lauren Boebert's a wild lady. So she finally won her recount. They had a recount, and she finally won. So now she is representing Colorado. Lauren Boebert in Colorado. Good for her. Drugs are all over the country, by the way, and they're too, everybody's on drugs. I hung out with a waiter the other day, and I'm telling you right now, waiters, when they're not waiting tables, want to only be on a amount of drugs that is like terrifying. Like, I don't think people fully, there's something about that business, I don't know what it is, where as soon as they get off, as soon as they're off of their shift, they just want to get fucked up to the point of death, where they don't know if they're coming back. They're on the edge. They're, as Terrence McKenna would say, maybe in the bardo, whatever. They're in that halfway between being alive and being dead. That's the only time they can be happy. There's something about that job that makes people just want to get really fucked up. And I was hanging out with this dude, and he's like, yeah, I'm a waiter, and he's a catering waiter. There's something that's even more intense about them. People that do catering parties. They travel, they do these catering parties, and after they do the catering party, they just want to do heroin. There's nothing I mean, it's crazy. This is an interesting article here, why waiters drink and why it matters. My former coworker once drank so much during a waitressing shift, she stumbled through the restaurant with her intoxication on full display. Even the chaos of the service rush couldn't hide the state she was in. By closing, she was fired. After work that night, a group of us consoled her at the casino sports book, where we often congregated for an after-hours ritual. Over drinks, ciggies, and video poker, we traded our best war stories. Together, our minds and bodies recovered from the physical exhaustion and emotional stress of service. We told our friend that everything would be fine. After all, she wasn't the first employee to be under the influence on the job. Some bartenders taste tested enough cocktails to maintain a steady buzz through their shifts. We knew which servers, cooks, and managers relied on cocaine to get through the long hours. And this is true. A friend of mine is in the restaurant business, and she's a junk box, meaning she's a box of junk, meaning that she's what they call a garbage head, meaning she'll do it all, anything. Anything you put in front of her, potion, pill, powder, she will snarf it down. She's like a Game of Thrones dragon, just like she really wants to be fucked up all the time. There's some curse that these people, whatever it is, I don't know what it is, there's some curse about working in a restaurant or catering that if you have any predisposition to addiction, like if you have any, if there's anything about you that might want to get fucked up, well, by golly, if you are a waiter or a waitress, you are going to end up smoking crack because this is the way that they do it. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is, but this is just something. And this guy's a young dude, and we were talking, and he goes, yeah, he's like, you know, we take shrooms, we do that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but he was like, we do blow, I'm on so many drugs. He'll text me sometimes, he goes, I'm on so many drugs. I'm on so many drugs right now. I go, what? But but he's a waiter. It's normal. He's a normal waiter. It's not one of those things that, you know, is looked down on in that profession. It's something that people actually like. They go, this is not like, I guess in crypto, when you set up an office outside of America, it's a well-established thing that you do. And when you're a waiter, being on your day off, being so fucked up that you just text people, I'm on so many drugs right now, is a normal occurrence. And I'm not judging it. I'm just saying it's interesting. There's certain jobs where people are really, really fucked up all the time. Certain jobs, people get really, really fucking wasted. And certain jobs, they don't. It's very interesting. I don't know which. Without union representation, these jobs are usually accompanied by poor pay, inconsistent schedules, and no medical insurance. High turnover means that when substance abuse behaviors do interfere with job performance, workers can be easily and immediately replaced. It's true. It's a tough gig. It's rough to be a waiter or a waitress, but some people do it very well. You know, they have those lifelong professional waiters that are, you know, this is their entire job for their entire life, and they do very well. And some of those people are in unions. It was just an aside. It's just something I wanted to discuss because it is something interesting to me about that particular professions where people tend to use lots of drugs are always interesting to me. And it's not only waiter. It's not only a waiter. What about all the cocaine on Wall Street? Why are you just saying it's waiters? I was a waiter and I never did drugs. I can't see my kids for other reasons. I'm just saying that it's curious to me when I meet somebody who's on crack and I go, what do you do? And they're like, I'm a waiter. And you're like, God, you people love it. You just love a straw up the nose. You love a key to the nose. Is there anything wrong with that? You just love to throw a spinach dip down on a table and then put a key to your nose. Is that such a big deal? Just admit it. Just admit it. Admit it. You like the sound of a crack rock cooking on a spoon. I'm kidding. No one even does crack anymore. It's such a fucking retro thing. Everybody's on meth or pills. Nobody's on crack. I saw my doctor today. I'm like, does anyone do crack anymore? He's like, not really.